It's the brilliant Sat Bains. Great to have on the show, Sat.
How you doing? Nice to see you again.
Now, I know we want to get straight on with this because there's a lot going on.
It's a really simple dish, this is.
Yes, right. Right, go on then.
Okay, so what it is locked wild salmon, so it's organic, really good sauce.
Yeah.
And it's basically just poached in some, like, a confit of duck, so it's like done in oil.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make a little tea bag with some spices in.
But we've got a puree of this.
Puree of onions to make a leek oil. We've got a little bit of brassicas. Brassicas is a generic name for the family of, like, cabbages, mustard, radish.
All this is going to get used as well.
Yeah, I've got some cabbage juice, which is amazing. I'm going to make a ketchup.
Right, well, I know you want to get, first of all, on and start that off, and I'm going to get on and do the oil, first of all, because there's a lot going on here. So you say this is, you know, there is quite a lot going on. Is this one of the dishes from your restaurant then?
This is actually on the menu at the moment, and the idea is that it's just kind of leaning into spring, because obviously the season's changing.
Right.
It's visually beautiful, but also the flavours are the contrast is quite incredible. It's got a beautiful fatty piece of salmon, and the idea is that's cooked very slowly. We cook it around 45 degrees, and as soon as we get the pan up to temperature, we just pull it off.
Now, a lot of people would be worried about cooking things that low, literally 45 degrees.
Well, yeah, well, in fairness, fish does cook at that temperature, and it'll be quite tender. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to infuse this first. There's the salmon, just took the little skin off of the bloodline.
Right, this is the oil. We've got the tops of the leeks, some spring onions, and some chives and oil in there. That's just plain oil, yeah?
It is, yeah. Here's the oil that I'm going to poach in. What we've got here is some pine. Pine is very citrus. Got some thyme. And we've got some juniper and coriander seeds. Yeah. So you basically just wrap it up like a bouquet garni. I call it a tea bag because I'm from Nottingham.
Right. This is tree pine then, yeah?
Tree pine, smell it. It's like citrus, forest. And this time of year is fantastic.
Yeah.
So again, we're just going to tie that up. And the idea is you infuse it in the actual oil. And the idea is you leave that for a few moments, up to about 3-4 hours. And then you reheat up to 45 degrees. So I've done that already.
So the idea is you're infusing the oil before you cook the salmon?
Yeah, because you want to get that perfume. Right. So say that's going to infuse, and I'll put this here.
If you're worried about the blender, don't, because it's only just started. There's about another 10 more to go.
This is the actual oil. So if you taste this now, James, you'll see. It's got this, like, you can taste the olive oil, but you can also taste, like, citrus from the pine. It's quite aromatic.
It's like a really, really good olive oil, but...
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's the salmon there. I'm going to pop that into the one at the back. Right,
and then you want me to do a little turnip pickle with this, yeah?
Yeah, the idea is I like to play with lots of acidity. This ketchup here...
Sugar and...
is basically like an old traditional dish where, you know, things like ketchup was from a very old age. Like, you used to have mushroom ketchup, we've had cucumber ketchup. This is one of the, a red cabbage. So I've got some mirin in here. That's a nice little sweet, acidic rice wine. I've got some soy. And we've got some agar here, which is a setting agent. And what that does, as soon as it comes up to simmer, you just take it straight off, and it sets in the fridge like a real nice gel.
Now, we've had this on we've had this on the show before, but it's not like corn flour, is it? So
no, not at all.
The difference is what?
This is basically seaweed-based, and it also sets at a higher temperature. So the melting point is at a higher temperature as well. So it's really good for doing things like purees, because it suspends the liquid in the actual puree.
But it's good for jellies and that kind of stuff.
Without a doubt, yeah. So that goes in here. That's just come up to simmer. And again, the secret is you've got to taste this. A lot of people were going, cabbage juice. But it is quite delicious, actually.
Cabbage juice.
Wait there, let me just taste it. It's delicious.
It's about $80, this cabbage juice thing. Now, tell us about your restaurant, then, because you've got rooms with it as well.
Yeah, we've got 8 bedrooms.
And you've just recently got your 2nd star.
We did, yeah. So we were quite blown away by it all in terms of the accolade. But, you know, I've always said it from day one, it's a massive team effort. What we do at the restaurant is we're in a very strange location, as you pointed out. But we try to celebrate that by also doing things that are quite rustic. We celebrate the region, we celebrate the locality of the produce coming from that region, and hopefully puts us on the map for the right reason.
And as getting 2 stars changed in terms of, you know, it must have changed business dramatically, but...
Without a doubt, what it does, it basically puts you on the map. And that's what you know, is a massive accolade for us. So we're off the beaten track, under the A52 flyover, and what's nice is drawing the people there, and what's drawing them is the food. Yeah. You know, it's not about the salubrious.
Do you find the food's got a little bit more complicated now?
Not at all. This is the simplest dish I've ever done.
Right. I'm lost here. Right, we've got the broccoli cooking there for
broccoli
puree.
there. This is the actual one that's set.
Right, now
that needs to be pureed.
Now, show us the difference between... Let's have a look at this, because it's just...
So what it is like, if you look at it, very
You can't warm that up, can you?
Not now. Not once you've had the egg in. So what we need to do is... I can't remember which blender it was, James, can you?
This one, I think.
About
that one's for my broccoli, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. But it's got a great colour with this, hasn't it, really?
But this is the point. When it looks like a ketchup. When you taste it, it's quite acidic, it's tart, and you've got this lovely cabbage flavour, which, again, is something that's very much in season, and you want to celebrate. Like, spring's coming round the corner, it looks very vibrant, but I love it, you know? It's one of them dishes. Brassicas gets a bad rep in my eyes. I think we should hopefully...
Do you think that's because a lot of it's overcooked, mainly? Yep. Talking of that, with broccoli, there you go. So you don't need anything there, just blend it, yeah?
Just blend it.
So that's cooking away. Now, as well as doing the restaurant and everything else, your first book as well, you're working on that, are you?
Yeah, that comes out in September.
Right.
It's took us 2 years. Everyone keeps asking when it's out, but what it is, it's because it's our first book, the pressure's on to get it right.
Yeah.
And we're self-publishing it with Face Publications, and the idea is it's all dishes from the restaurant that we've done over the last 7 to 8 years. And I want it to be very, very honest, and all the dishes, the way they're photographed, they're done in real photography terms, so that it actually looks like what you get in the restaurant.
Yeah.
We haven't got a food stylist, so basically what you see in the book is what you'd actually get at the restaurant. So here we've got some pre-blanched little florets of cauliflower, purple sprouting broccoli, and again, just adds a bit of texture to the dish.
Yeah. Right.
Again, all these, purple sproutings in season, it's quite... there's the oil.
Just to show you that, look at that oil. That's just great. That's just the tops of the leeks. That's the spring onion and the chives, just blended with normal oil.
Look at that, it's like luminous.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant job. That's better than ours.
Thank you, Chef. There you go.
So I've got
now
some here.
Warm,
warm chicken stock, and that just gives a bit of body to the dish, and just warm that oil through. And what you end up with is this amazing split dressing, and that adds a great depth to the dish itself.
Right, I'm going to use the other blender here to blend up my broccoli with a little bit of this juice as well.
I've lost count.
Remember, if you'd like to ask a question of the show, they can call this number. That's 0716 41 41 41. Calls cost 10p a minute for a BT landline. Mobiles and other networks may vary, and if you will put your questions to us live a little later on. And don't forget you can find Sat's recipe, along with all the other studio recipes, on today's show, bbc.co.uk/recipes. And don't ask me what I'm doing, because I'm lost.
OK, that's the turnip you pickled.
Yes.
That's what it looks like after 2 hours. So you want to do that in advance.
Right, OK.
So that's the one I'm going to use.
Right, we've just got puree in here. Another one. This is the broccoli.
I'm going to get the plates, because we're nearly there. How are we doing?
OK, now, I think so. Do you want a little bit of salt in there or something? Or?
We'll taste it, because I put quite a lot of salt in the water.
OK.
The salmon itself, as you look, is very soft. So I'm going to get it out with a spoon. And the idea is that it should be very soft textured, almost like a confit, you know. And
it looks as if it's not cooked.
It does, because we've kept it below 45 degrees. Right. Anything over that, it starts going white.
Right.
If you smell that now, you've got all that pine in there, because that's been there now 2.5 hours.
Smells good. All I can smell is broccoli at the moment, but there you go. Right.
So a little caramelisation there. We'll turn these off to save a bit of gas.
Right, ready when you are. So you've got your puree there.
Puree there.
That's it, just literally done. I feel like I'm on a shopping channel.
Let's have a look.
Done with that one?
Taste, yeah. Look at that, smooth.
It's smooth, look at that.
That's lovely.
That's cabbage water.
That's very nice. Well, cabbage ketchup.
Cabbage juice.
I'm trying to make it sound lovely.
I'm impressed with that.
in it. So all you do, a little bit on the base.
Yeah.
I'm doing 2 because the salmon's quite small, and I know Claude's at the end.
Yeah.
So,
right.
He does like a nice portion.
Got a mixture there. There you go.
Thank you very much.
So that's just cauliflower and broccoli that you've just sautéed off, yeah?
And then you're just going to sit the puree here, which is very nice and textured. It's lovely.
Is there a lump in it?
No, not at all. It's beautiful.
Just get it on the plate.
That's amazing. Probably one of the best purees I've ever seen.
Thank you. Right, there we go.
So again, we just put this little purple sprouting here. So again, lots of different textures. You've got a little bit of roasted cauliflower. That just sits there. So as you bite into it, you've got the little warm, cold, pickled puree. Got a lovely little salmon that's really juicy. Just sits on top there.
And is there do you cook all fish like that then?
No. This is just specific salmon. For this. Yeah, I'll do this for this. Okay. I've got this lovely little pickled turnip. And have a taste of that. Again, quite sweet and sour.
Sounds good to me.
Well, it's still crunchy, that's a beauty. And then just going to finish it.
You got some
with my sauce.
She's in there. I've got you some radishes there.
Thank you very much. And again, this is that onion oil. It's very vibrant. It's got a lovely acidity to it.
And it almost splits that.
Yeah. As it goes over the plate, it splits with the actual chicken stock. It becomes a lovely dressing.
Go on then. Right, you put that on. So remind us what that is again.
So we've got a little Lotte d'Or salmon, which has been poached in it's like a pine and thyme oil.
Yeah.
And then just some brassicas, all vegetables from the brassica family. That's just pureed ketchup. And then we've just got all these lovely little turnips and radishes all over.
Looks good to me. How you do it at home, I haven't a clue. But best of luck with it.
There you go. Well done, James. Cheers.
I'm at Peterborough Cathedral. Spring is springing and we have culinary artistes in the kitchen. We need wine. Sat salmon is so colourful and eclectic and theatrical in style that you might think it's a little bit bonkers. But you've been wrong, because while it's original, it's also totally seasonal and utterly delicious. What it's not is easy to match a wine to. So you could go for a cool slug of vodka or schnapps, Scandinavian style. Or you can carry on with your juniper-scented gin and tonic. But if hard liquor's not your thing, then we need a white wine and something at the tangy end of the spectrum, and Riesling is a good grape to go for in that context, and the delicious one here is Viña Riesling from Chile. But I've found us an absolute bargain of a wine this week. It's from New Zealand, it is Sauvignon Blanc, and it's the fabulous Ara Composite from Marlborough. Sometimes when it comes to wine matching, it's not just about picking out individual flavours, it's about the overall feel of a dish. And I know, Sat, you say this dish is designed to make you feel light and ready for spring, and that's exactly what this wine does. It's beautifully tangy, it's scented to tie in with that lovely fragrant oil. It's tangy for the pickle, but it's rich enough for the salmon and the stock. And it's lovely and vegetal and earthy on the finish for those brassicas and the root veg. So Sat, it's an inspired dish. All I can do is raise a glass.